Good morning. Welcome to sunny Winnipeg. 16.8 Celsius already. It's going to be a nice day as far as I know. Now, there we go. Going to be a challenging day, and that is because I am going to try. Remember, I was talking about these little triangular shaped gussets that have to swing around underneath the platform here and then be soldered into place. And I've thought a lot about that, and I was thinking that maybe what I can do is I can try and swing it around and get it in place, and we will stick on the macro lens here and get it nice and close, because I realize that you can just barely see what I'm talking about here. And hopefully when I swing it around, it won't break off, because right now it's basically in the right spot. It just has to be swung around and under. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to use this this solder paste, and it's getting pretty old, but I think if I squeeze really hard, I can probably get a little bit to come out the end here. Let's just try it. It could be that this has had its day. It's not coming. Maybe if I was to, I don't know if I dare try and heat the end of that with a cigarette lighter flame, or maybe just warm it up with my heat gun. That'd be safer. It was. Oh yeah, there. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. You can see that a little bit came out. Now the idea is I would take that and lay it along the side of the gusset once it's in place, and just a tiny little bit of it, not a whole lot, because it will wick its way into the grating. Well, you know what? We should be. Let me just get rid of this here. We'll start over again. Maybe it could be that what's happened is that the solder that was in the tube has become hard, and it could be that this part here is still soft. So I'll work at it. When I first got this thing, it actually came out quite easy, but it's obviously there was a best before date on this. Yeah, there was a best before date on this. I can't remember if it's still on here or anything, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Maybe it was on the packaging, but I do remember reading it and thinking that stuff not going to last very long. But okay, Aussie Frenchman Mark suggested that, and it was a good idea, and I thought about it for quite a while. Good idea, Mark. And the idea was, as long as you're going to be only seeing this ship from one side, why not have it so that the side of these doors, these roll-up doors, are facing you, even though they're the wrong way around. And that way you'd have the detail showing on the inside. I guess I should have done that then when I did all those other doors, and I didn't. It's a good idea, and I did think about it, and but I don't think I'm going to do it. And the reason being is that what if I put a mirror in behind to show the detail of the other side of this boat? And I might do that. I got a little mirror on the submarine, if you remember, and down in my workshop I have a mirror, the complete full-length mirror that displays the upper deck of the Titanic. It's at a 45-degree angle. Some of you may remember seeing that. And when you stand looking straight on into the case, there's this mirror that looks straight down. You can see the profile of the of the ship, like from the top profile. That's that kind of profile. If maybe profile is not the right word, but anyway, yeah, let's get going here. I don't think I've got any big news. Probably about mid-morning here, maybe I'll get out on the bike again. I don't know where I'm going to go. I'd like to go to a McDonald's that I've never been to before. There's a lot of them in Winnipeg, but not on this side of the city. I think we've pretty much covered all the coffee shops. There are restaurants, but they're not really coffee shops. It's sort of like when I went to the Salisbury House. It used to be a coffee shop. Now it's a really nice restaurant, and it was really nice, and the service was fantastic. But the coffee was 3 times as expensive. And if you do that every day, well, it can get costly. Let's recompose here and see if we can't take one of these things and platforms and get that gusset swung down and around. Occasionally, when I'm editing out, after taking a shot with the macro lens, I realize that I am just in so close that all perspective is lost. So this is just to, give perspective as what we've got going on here, because when we zoom in, we're just going to be covering this little area right here. This piece here, it also has to be bent into shape, and I do believe that when we fold this up and this up, that this will probably get soldered onto this. This will fold up, and then it will solder onto this right here. These two little posts or whatever. Okay, but what we got to do now is let's take the smaller one here. This is the top of the platform. These wings that you see here are going to fold up. Okay, but we'll do that after. I think it'll be a lot easier to work on if I can just turn this over, and now what we want to do is take this piece, fold it up like this, and then over. Okay, now I'll put on the macro lens. Okay, once again we're going to use this little black dot that is on my green cloth here, and we are going to do our best to try and keep this right in the center of the field of view. Now, I'm using the green cloth instead of the piece of paper that we had earlier because this will have a tendency to slide around less. Now, the only place that this is hooked on, do I have this the right way? Yeah, this okay, that's the top. You can actually see the folding lines where this is supposed to fold. So this little triangle is clearly going to have to be folded across the bottom like that. Now try and hook onto maybe I should be using my hobby knife here. Where is it? Be prepared, Ron, be prepared. Okay, now I want to hook into this. Okay, we're going to want to go up like this. Maybe I should check the monitor. Am I still in focus here? Oh yeah, it's not bad. Maybe I turn a bit of an angle like that. It'll actually be better. See if I know people have suggested, why don't you watch the monitor, when you're doing stuff like this? And the reason I don't is because everything is backwards. Okay, so it hasn't broken off yet. Okay, now what we got to do is try and get it to go down. I'm going to end up cutting myself that way. Now I don't want to be bending this too much because metal fatigue is going to set in and it's going to break off. And then it will be really hard. See, right now it's sort of going to be halfways. It's not quite straight. My angle's wrong, and I'm looking sort of straight down on it, and I'm missing it with the knife. Always reasons for why it's not working, right? No, if I could just, you can see it's about 45 degrees, almost too much. And straighten it over. Like that. And then, okay, now if I could somehow get a little dollop of solder paste right on the edge there. The whole thing does not have to be soldered securely. It just has to be. Okay, I'm looking straight down on it. It looks pretty darn good, except it should be actually down a little bit more, but it wants to sort of spring back up. Okay, I'm going to have to recompose and set up some sort of a holder downer here. Maybe I could use this fork thing. That would hold it in place. As long as I don't solder the needle. Am I still over the black dot? Where's the black dot? Oh, there it is. Yeah, as long as I don't solder the needle here, like this thing that we're looking at, that's actually just a sewing needle with the eye sort of ground down. Yeah, I think I can rig that up, or something like that. I have a smaller one. I have a smaller needle. I'll use that one. Okay, you probably recognize this as my 2x4 that I've cut at the right angle so that I can set my GoPro on my bike helmet just at the right angle. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and this is just a piece of oven mat or whatever you call it. It's heat resistant, kind of like a soldering mat. I don't know if it's as good as a real genuine soldering mat. I don't think it'll go up to 1,000 degrees or anything like that. But my thinking is that if I put this on here like this, at least when I heat up the piece of photo etch here, and my thinking is that if I can get it right just on the edge like this, and then get a holder downer to hold that in place, and get a little bit of solder along the edge, and then come in with the tip of the soldering iron and just touch this. This mat will not act like a heat sink. It will allow this whole thing to become hot to the point where it should melt it should melt the solder. Now I did heat up this tip earlier with the heat gun, and it now comes out quite easy. Now that it's cooled down, it may not. Let's just try it here. I'm squeezing pretty hard. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that's about the way it normally was. Okay, so let's not make a mess here now. Now, instead of using a needle like I had thought of earlier, I'm using a toothpick here, which I have shortened and pound it into the hole at the end of the holder downer where the needle normally goes. And I want to have this whole thing a little bit proud of the pad here, so that when I come in with the I hear somebody at the door. I think Missy is here. I'll be right back. Actually, I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Come on, babe. There we go.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, hang on there, Missy the dog. Hang on, Missy the dog. Looks like it's going to be a nice day.
Smoky.
Oh, smoky, yeah.
I got her over the bridge and she wouldn't go any further. I tugged and then I said, house. Ooh, and away she went like a rocket. So I don't know, it's the smoke and she wants to go home, or she's just in a hurry to get to Uncle Ron's place.
She sees this thing here and she won't go for the good stuff.
Maybe it's the outside that she doesn't like the smell of.
It could be. I don't know. There's something about it. Yeah. Yeah, the pedigree people are going to be so disappointed. They probably watch you, Missy, and they're thinking she doesn't like our stuff. Yeah.
Yes, so we're getting one paw out of four. Paws down.
She knew she dropped something, yeah. Okay, come on back up. Atta girl. There we go. Have you ever been to that restaurant that's on the corner of Green and Henderson called Colosimo's? It's a coffee shop. Have you ever been in there?
What's it called?
I think it's called Colosimo or something like that. No? I was thinking of going there, but oh, hey, Missy, here. There you go. I was thinking of going there, but their coffee is like $3 a cup, so I don't know. But it might be nice for just a one-time thing, you know.
It's an awful lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money, isn't it?
There's a man that pulls up in a $40,000 motorcycle and says $3 is too much for coffee. What's wrong with this picture?
No, I'm surprised you didn't put one on the on the roof of my car when I wasn't looking.
Yes.
Bye, Missy.
I was going to, but Missy said no. No. Don't do that. He can't afford a $3 cup of coffee. You don't want to be putting a flag on his car. Poverty is tough.
Thanks, Rob. Bye, Missy.
Have a beautiful ride today.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a nice day. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay, now we were about to lower this modified toothpick onto our gusset. So we're going to have to get the macro lens back on. But you know, what do we got here? 27 minutes after 10? Yeah, I think it's time to go for a bike ride. And I think I'm going to ride past that restaurant that or coffee shop that I was talking about earlier. It's not too far from here. But I think I'm probably going to end up at the McDonald's on Henderson Highway because the parking is easy there. And yeah, I want to see if I can make their machines work a little better. That's sort of getting the hang of those, you know, how to touch the machine. Yeah, and then we'll come back and we'll solder this on. Okay, quite a bit of time has passed here. I did go for my ride. Okay, this is it here. I concluded that I probably will not be going to that coffee shop. It's too hard to get off of their street back onto Henderson Highway. I realized that I could have, turned and, parked in a different place and gone out the other way, but I don't know, there was just something about it that did not appeal to me. I'm going to call her quits for today's episode. There is other stuff that's been going on here that I want to look after. Nothing serious or anything like that, just stuff, just life. Life keeps getting in the way of the model table here. And all being well, we're going to be going back at this tomorrow. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.